Have you ever felt like you're just waiting? Waiting for that one big idea, that lightning bolt from the sky that's supposed to give your life purpose. We're told it's this magical moment, but what if that's the very lie that's keeping you stuck? Well, today, we're going to tear that myth down and build a real, practical plan to stop waiting and finally start doing.
Right. Let's just get this out of the way from the get-go. This idea that your purpose is just going to magically appear one morning, it's bogus. It's a great story for a movie, but in real life, it just traps you in a state of waiting, not living. It basically encourages you to be passive when what you really need is to take action.
So if you feel a little lost right now, like you're just scrolling through life waiting for some kind of roadmap to show up, you are definitely not alone. It's such a common feeling, this sense that everything is a bit gray and colorless, and you're just one aha moment away from it all clicking into place. But here's the secret. That waiting, that's the real problem.
So let's pull back the curtain on what's really going on here. I like to call it the great purpose lie. It's this invisible kind of toxic script that whispers in your ear that your life hasn't really started yet because, well, you haven't found your one true calling. And this belief is, frankly, a trap. It suggests you're somehow incomplete until this calling arrives. And what does that lead to? Years of consuming information. Podcasts, books, all of it. Focusing on input instead of action. It paralyzes you with the fear of choosing the wrong path, so you just end up choosing no path at all. Now, what's really interesting is that the root cause of all this inaction, it isn't some deep lack of purpose. Nope. It's something far more fundamental, something that's literally baked into our brains. It's our deep biological addiction to comfort. Look, we are experts at telling ourselves convenient lies. We think the problem is, I'm not experienced enough, or I don't have the confidence yet. But the real problem, the one our brains are hardwired for, is so much simpler. We are addicted to comfort. Your brain's default setting is to avoid the stress of risk and uncertainty at all costs. And that brings us to a fundamental truth, and it's framed perfectly by the psychologist Dr. Susan David. A meaningful life simply does not exist inside your comfort zone. Think about it. Growth, fulfillment, everything you actually want. It requires you to step into discomfort. That's not a bug in the system, it is the system. And boy, are we masters of avoiding it, aren't we? We numb ourselves, we distract ourselves with way too much work, we post these perfect, happy snaps on social media, we jump from one thing to the next, all of it just to avoid sitting with those messy, uncomfortable feelings that come with real growth.
So, this addiction to comfort has a very direct consequence. We call it the overthinking action gap. It's that massive, massive space between knowing what you probably should do and actually, doing it. You get trapped in this cycle of learning more and more, but doing less and less. This gap gets bigger and bigger because we misunderstand the difference between motivation and discipline. See, motivation is a fleeting spark. It feels great when it shows up, but it's totally unreliable because it depends on your mood. Discipline, on the other hand, is a steady flame that you build. It's the commitment to act despite how you feel, overriding your brain's craving for comfort. Successful people don't wait to feel confident. They build it, brick by brick, through disciplined action. So here's the crucial point. The thing I really want you to get. You probably have it backward. You're waiting for clarity before you take action. But the truth is, action creates clarity. Learning is a contact sport. You have to get your hands dirty. By just doing something, anything, you generate feedback, you learn, and you build momentum. And guess what? Motivation almost always follows the action.
All right, so we've diagnosed the problem. Now let's talk about the solution. And this isn't about just trying harder or some vague advice. It's about installing a system. Because let's be honest, goals without a system are basically useless. So here's a 4-step action plan to take you from thinking to doing.
Okay, we're going to walk through these 4 simple steps. Prioritizing your focus, applying the good old 80-20 rule, learning to embrace discomfort, and then using a dead simple method to just get started. Let's break them down.
First up, your attention and your energy are finite resources. They run out, so you have to decide what gets them. Make a really short, non-negotiable list of what truly matters to you, your health, your family, your creative work, whatever it is. And if something isn't on that list, you have to give yourself permission to ruthlessly ignore it.
Now for step 2, applying the Pareto principle. You might know it as the 80-20 rule. And this isn't just some business cliche, it's a fundamental law of how things work. It basically says that in almost any area, 80% of your results will come from just 20% of your efforts. So your job isn't to do more things. It's to find that critical 20% of activities and just focus on them obsessively. That's what gives you 80% of the results you want. Stop trying to learn everything under the sun. Master the vital few concepts that actually move the needle. Step 3 is a huge mindset shift. You have to learn to embrace discomfort. Listen, you are going to fail. You're going to get rejected. It's not a possibility, it is a guarantee. But failure is just feedback. It's data. As Churchill said, success is about treating those failures not as dead ends, but just as stepping stones on the path forward.
Okay, now for the final and maybe the most practical step of all. So what's so special about this number? Well, it's the key to overcoming that initial resistance, that inertia that keeps you stuck on the couch.
This is the 10-minute rule. It's so simple. Pick one task you've been avoiding. Set a timer for just 10 minutes and work on it. That's it. The goal isn't to finish it. The goal is just to start. This lowers the barrier to entry and it tricks your brain into action because once you start, momentum, kind of like a snowball rolling downhill, it just starts to build on its own.
So let's bring this all together, shall we? We've busted the myth, we've diagnosed the real problem, and we've laid out a clear 4-step plan. The only thing left now is the most important part.
I want you to really think about this for a second. That exhaustion you feel, it's probably not from doing too much work. It's from the crippling mental weight of all the things you're not doing. It's the analysis paralysis that is just draining your soul. And here is the hard, liberating truth. No one is coming to save you. Not your boss, not your parents, not your friends. And you have to stop holding back because you're afraid of what other people think. Trust me, everyone is so busy with their own mess that they don't have time to worry about yours. The responsibility is 100% on you. And you know what? That's not terrifying, it's empowering. It means you hold all the cards. You see other people out there achieving things, building interesting lives, making progress. And the only question that really truly matters is this one. Why not you? What actually separates you from them, other than the simple decision to just start? So really, how much longer are you going to wait for that lightning bolt that's never going to strike? Purpose isn't something you find, it's something you forge. It's built in the small, uncomfortable, and deliberate actions you take every single day. Stop waiting for the map. Pick up a tool, take one step, and start drawing it yourself. Your time is now.